Hi and welcome. So this video is the review and feature list of the mini pallets I built. So for some of you, you might have just jumped straight here because you really weren't interested in how I built it. You just sort of interested in what features I put into it and what the final product looks like. So if that's what you're interested in, you're in the right place. If you went through all the videos and you just want an overview, this is a good place too. So let's get to it, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so here's the end of my mini pallet project. Taken a very long time. So hopefully I can show you all the features I put in this. So on the milling mini pallet, it's held two ways. One is just in the vise, in my Kurt vise, regularly sitting on a couple parallels. And the other way is with some hold down clamps. I put slots on all the sides so I could hold it flat to the milling table if I wanted. Another feature that you might have seen before is I put Allen screws, little tiny ones, in every single hole on this so that the threads wouldn't get gummed up with chips when you're milling on it. However, I'm not entirely sure if that's a great idea because, you know, ultimately the Allen part of it is going to get filled with chips, so maybe it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. I haven't really figured that out. I'll play around and see what I end up thinking. I added some features. I put holes for a set of dowel pins, 1/4-inch dowel pins, very tight. Also, this material is 2-inch thick aluminum, and I made it so that the bottom inch is threaded 1024 with an inch-long set screw, so that if I wanted, I could adjust how deeply the pin goes in the hole up to 1 inch. So there was one example. Here's another example, like that. The pins are all lined up very carefully, and they will help you set up a part if you want to, just as reference points to push against. I also put 2 V-slots in here in case you wanted to clamp down round objects so that they wouldn't rotate when they're held down. Don't know how I feel about that. I guess I'm going to play around with that and see how I like it. I should have offset that up. Instead, it screwed up my hold location. Mistakes that I'll fix in the drawing so that you won't have the same problems. To hold a part in, for example, you would line this up against some pins. You will take out the appropriate set screws. Oh, I made several kinds of clamps. One kind is just to strap across if that seems like it's appropriate. The other ones are regular, and they have a flat side to hold perfectly flat, and another side so that you can angle it down to pull so that hopefully most of the force goes at an angle on the part. These are all made out of A2 tool steel and hardened. Watch the video earlier and you can see how I made those. They also have a screw hole in the back to set angle so that you can force the pressure to go towards the front of the clamp, like this. Hold it against the locating pins and tighten. And here would be a second one, a longer clamp. And parts locked down. So that's my milling flat mini pallet. All right, let's set this over here for 1 second and move my rotary table over. So the rotary table mini pallet has several features that I thought were kind of interesting. One is, since there's a Morse taper in the rotary table itself, I made a bushing that is extremely tight fitting that sets up in the Morse taper to line this part up. And then you just get your screws in there, you tighten them up. And when you're done, since this is such a tight fit, you got to knock it out. Then, so you don't lose a bunch of surface area while you're working on it, after you clean this out, I made a replaceable plug that fits flush with the surface. So I haven't really tightened this down yet. I'm just putting it here. So the standard screw holes are just like the other mini pallet. You use them for the clamps. I also added another feature that I thought might be useful, don't really know yet, which is 2/4 inch dowel pins whose inside sides are lined up exactly with the center of the rotating point. So if I took a part and I put it in here and I twist, the center line of this part is going to go right through the center of my rotating table. I don't know if that's going to be useful yet or not. We'll find out. Time will tell. But I thought I'd add it in because it didn't take too much effort. I did screw up the bolt hole pattern on this. I misinterpreted what my milling DRO was saying, so I ended up with a 5-hole pattern. It's supposed to be 4-hole, so that's why the holes don't look very good. Originally it was going to be 2-2 on one radius, and then a slightly narrow radius, 2 and 2, 45 degrees off that, so it looked nice. Anyways, these are my 2 mini pallets, and I need them for my next project, which is why I built them first. So I hope you find this interesting, and I hope you enjoy it. Talk to you soon.